My name is Jesse Pakulat with you today on Q101 Merritt's Music Mix, and my guest today is Kenny Hess. He's the organizer of Rockin River Music Festival, which rolls into town in just a couple of weeks, and he's playing tomorrow night over at Spirit Square, so you can see him and the trio perform live. Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Jesse, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, a little tired, but, that's my life. It's that time of year. I'm out on the road running around like a wild man, so...
Yeah, you're pretty busy these days, eh? We're getting closer to the big festival.
Oh, we sure are, yeah. We got a couple of weeks left, and we're pretty excited about it, and looking forward to hitting the ground running.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, too. It's going to be my very first one.
Well, it won't be my first one, but it's going to be my favorite.
Yes, because it gets bigger and better every year.
Every year. And, we've got some great artists, of course, with, Toby Keith and Van Perry and Brett Kissel and Casey Musgraves, and, of course, my personal favorite, Willie Nelson.
Yes, I think a lot of people are excited about Willie Nelson coming to town.
We sure are. I just, it's one of those things. I've been lucky enough to share the stage with Johnny Cash and George Jones and Merle Haggard, all my favorites, but never Willie. So this year, I absolutely will be sharing the stage with Willie, and I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. I just love it. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, that's another notch in your...
I think it's the last one. My belt is I barely hold it now. So.
But you got them all in.
Yep, I got them, yeah.
Excellent. It's almost like a kid's reference. It's even younger for me, but they reference it like catching all the Pokemon, and you got all the country artists.
Yeah, that's a little, Pokemon sounds like a disease to me.
And you know what? Tomorrow night, we're going to get like a little bit of a preview because you're playing live in the park as well.
Absolutely. I've got my trio, me and award-winning musicians Tom McKillop and Mike Sanishin. The three of us are going to come and play. I believe we're down at Spirit Square.
That's right.
We're down at Spirit Square playing, and we're just really happy to be there. I know we just finished a run up through the Kootenays. We finished a little run there through Cranbrook and all of that, and we're in Fernie Saturday night we were in Fernie, my hometown, which was an awful lot of fun, and just heading back into your fine city, and we're playing there on Tuesday, so excited about doing that.
Yeah, and it's absolutely free. It's a great thing that's happening July and August. We're going to see some music. There's going to be some activities. There's going to be some movies playing. But every Tuesday and Thursday, either in the square or in the park, something's going on, and it's always a great time.
I think it's wonderful that you do that. I know that some cities do it, but not all of them, and I think Merritt's very lucky to have the people who go out there and work so hard to make sure that this happens. And I'm very grateful that they included me on it, and I know that me and the band are going to have a lot of fun, play some great songs, and I'll probably tell a stupid story or two. It'd be fun.
We'll look forward to that. Talking with Kenny Hess today on Q101. He's the organizer of Rockin River, the huge festival that happens here every year. He's also a bona fide country artist. He's been around the block quite a bit. He's played, as he mentioned, with some fabulous artists before. Now he's going to play with Willie, coming up in just a few weeks. And tomorrow night, you'll be able to see him live over at Spirit Square right here in Merritt. And coming up on the show today, we're going to find out a little bit more about Kenny. Did you know that he knew what he wanted to do in life when he was just 4 years old? And he started making money in country music when he was a teenager. We're going to get to know a little bit more about Kenny when we come back on Q101. Q101 Merritt's Music Mix. My name's Jesse Pakulat, joined by Kenny Hess. Maybe the listeners don't know, but Kenny, he's been around for quite a while, and I'm reading just at 4 years old. You knew what you wanted to be at 4? That's pretty early.
I did. Well, yeah, my dad had me up on stage singing, and, he didn't do too bad. I've been making a living off of this for a very long time, and, never had to pack a lunch. I've been a professional musician for over 4 decades now, and I feel pretty good about it. They, member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. What can you say?
Yeah, exactly. And you can read about him more, I guess, in town over at the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame. And just at 15 years old, that's when he started making some dough, traveling and playing some tunes.
That's right. Yeah, about 15 years old, I became professional and just kept right on tour. And once I got on stage, I mean, they're going to have to get a big hook or a gun or something to get me off.
Yeah.
I have no intention of leaving the stage.
Now, it mentions that you were big on playing some Charlie Pride, Don Williams, Merle Haggard. Was there anyone in particular that stood out more, that you enjoyed playing more?
I love Merle Haggard. Like, Merle Haggard is probably my favorite singer-songwriter. But as a kid, I mean, I got to work with Charlie Pride when I was 14, 15, and Don Williams and guys like that. So still to this day, I think that their music is just such wonderful music, and it has a special place in my heart. But Merle Haggard's my favorite, no question.
Okay, Merle Haggard. And yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of those guys, like, a lot of those older stuff, man, it just stands the test of time. When you still hear songs today, it sounds fresh.
I agree. I mean, there's certain songs that the song itself, nobody's ever gonna think "Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain" is a bad song. Nobody's ever going to think that. It really does stand the test of time. Where I'm not sure that your Luke Bryans of today, or your Kip Moores, or whoever it is that you've picked as your favorite today, I'm not sure that they're going to stand up 20 years from now. They may. I don't hear it, but maybe that's because I'm old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like sometimes, you say you're thinking about, like, man, that song, I'm not really liking it. Then it turns out to be like the number one song around or something. Everybody's into it.
Yeah, it happens a lot. But, radio has a wonderful magical power that if you play something enough, people believe it's good. But I like them songs that you hear by yourself. You've never heard it before, and they grab you, and you want to hear it every day. And, I find that Merle Haggard and guys like that had a lot more of those songs than most of the artists do today. But having said that, there are some great artists today, too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's some good stuff these days. And when you hear, like, whether it's a new song or an old song, just a song that you haven't heard before, and it instantly gets to you, it's almost like discovering a nice-looking lady for the first time or something.
Well, you're discovering emotions.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Music is supposed to do that to you. It's supposed to, either put its arms around you or, boot you in the arse, one of the two. Either way, emotion is a wonderful thing, and music has a way of bringing that out in people.
It's Kenny Hess of the Kenny Hess Trio joining me today on the afternoon show, and you can see him perform live tomorrow night. That will be over at Spirit Square, showtime 6:30, and of course the big one that's coming up very shortly, and that's Rockin River Music Fest. Kenny Hess in charge of all that stuff, and we got more with Kenny coming up in just a little bit right here on Q101. You're listening to Q101. My name's Jesse Pakulat, and my guest today is Kenny Hess. He's the organizer of the Rockin River Music Festival, rolling through town August long weekend. He's also going to be performing live tomorrow night, and that's over at Spirit Square. You can see him perform for free. Just bring over a lawn chair and enjoy the tunes. We got more with Kenny right now, and did you know he is an award winner? Let's take Kenny back in time for a little bit. We got to talk about this. I know a lot of people already know about this, but I'll mention it as well. You actually have some awards in your arsenal. You did take home a Juno for the Best Country Artist of the Year. You remember that?
Long time ago.
You remember when that happened?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've won quite a few BC Country Music Awards, which, BC is one of the richest provinces there is in country music. It really is. You look at some of the artists that we've turned out. There's been some wonderful, wonderful artists that have called BC home, and they've done very well for themselves. And, I've had my success at the Canadian Country Music Awards. I've not really won any, but I've been nominated for a few, and actually very, very happy to announce that the Rockin River Music Fest this year got nominated for Festival of the Year at the Canadian Country Music Awards. So, we're in the top 4 festivals anywhere in Canada, and that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot. Yeah, that makes me look forward to it even more. So
yeah, we're very proud of that, and I think that all of Merritt should be proud of it because, Merritt is without a question the greatest place to have a festival. It really is. The site that, years of hard work and preparation that was done by our predecessors, we're hoping that we can walk on, and continue to do what they, the good that they did. The infrastructure that's there, the town itself, the whole site is absolutely incredible, and that plays a big role in why we did get nominated. But we believe wholeheartedly the biggest reason we got nominated is that we are a couple of families that run this. It's a family business. It's run like a family business, and we want it to be a family festival. I want to know that you can bring your granddaughter or your grandmother to this festival, and they all feel safe and happy and enjoy themselves. That's my number one priority, and I think that's why this year we've been recognized as one of the top festivals anywhere in Canada.
We could still make a heck of an impression right now and get that number one title.
That's right. Fantastic thing to do. We're up against the Calgary Stampede, so it's a little tough.
Well, yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, well, the Calgary Stampede's been around for a little bit now.
Yes, they have.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to Rockin River, like I mentioned. People are going to be coming around from all over. I noticed that with the last festival as well. People come from even other countries.
They sure do. Yeah, we have people from Germany, from Denmark, from all over the world come.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to see. And I've been talking with a lot of the Road to Rockin River contestants as well, getting to know them. And that's pretty exciting too, just hearing the excitement in their voice as they're preparing to compete for their right to be on the stage as well.
That's right. Fostering talent is a big part of what we want to do, and it's important. BC, like I say, is rich with country music, and it's very important that we help make that jump for them, I guess you'd say. We allow them to get better, to move forward in their career, and have an opportunity to perform on a big stage like the rest of the artists that have already paid their dues.
Yeah, I think it's a really good prize too. Like the fact that they get to come back next year and then they get all those featured events throughout the year.
That's right. It's an exciting time.
Certainly is, man, and that will be August long weekend, of course. That's going to be Rockin River. Get your tickets now if you haven't got them yet. It's going to be a heck of a time, and Kenny Hess is the man running it all, and you can see him live tomorrow night, absolutely free, over at Spirit Square right here in Merritt.
Looking forward to seeing you there.
Thank you for joining us, Kenny. I'll see you